Hi, my name is Jay Sean Davis, and today I'm going to be talking about masculinity. Boys will be boys. What is masculinity? Masculinity is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles associated with boys and men. Some people might say masculinity is influenced by social media, social backgrounds, or even their family members. Anger, aggression, and no emotion. Anger. A lot of young men and men have experienced anger at a young age. Now, I want y'all to think back at a time when y'all first have your first conflict. This either can be with a friend, a sibling, a cousin, or even a stranger on the street. I want you to think, how was y'all feeling? What emotions was y'all feeling? Some people might say they were nervous. Some people might say they were angry. Some people might say they were sad. Some people might say they were scared. But they cannot back down from this fight. Because if they do, they are considered a sissy. A little girl. Weak. Aggression. Aggression goes along kind of what I said with anger. When you have to always stand up and fight, never backing down. Always got to be the leader. Always got to be on top. See, a lot of young men and young boys play sports at a young age, like basketball, football, baseball, even wrestling. But what if a boy likes to sing? What if a boy likes to dance? What if a boy want to do gymnastics or even cheerleading? When boys and young boys do that, when they step out of that shell, they are judged. They are questioned about their sexuality. They are pushed to not push and judge and discriminate on because they like something different than a typical man or boy likes. So this goes to make a lot of young men and young boys lose their passions of dancing and singing because they care about their masculinity and manhood so strong that they're hold their feelings and their feelings in and the desire to sing and dance just because to the press and to be accepted in their by society. No emotion. A lot of young men and a lot of boys and don't open up about their feelings. See, this caused a lot of young men, even men, older men, to go into depression. A lot of young men and boys go into depression because they never open up about their feelings. They never talk to other people. They never have that chance to say, I'm not okay, I'm not sad. Because if they do, like I said before, they're considered weak. They feel like they're considered weak, less than a man, and men should not do that. The article of Black Boys Don't Need Discipline. Now, in this article, it talks about a little boy named Chris. A little boy named Chris lost a family member, and the police officer was asking the young man what happened, what he see, because he witnessed one of his family members who died. And the officer described the young man, the young child, that he did not show emotion. He did not. His heart was so cold. It felt like he was so cold that he didn't even look like he even witnessed the murder. Now, some people say this is because of his masculinity. That men are not supposed to show emotion. don't that sound crazy to you that a young man, a young child, who's seen their family gunned down, but he got that mindset that that men should not cry because they're weak, that he's not even showing no emotion that his family member died. Now I want to talk about London Wilcock. London Wilcock talked about sexual assault in a TED Talk. He describes an incident that he was walking down the street and two men came and some guys, actually it was guys that he really didn't get to talk about. He just said they came and grabbed him. He didn't really get to talk about who was the guys. He didn't really describe them. The matter of this video was to talk about the trauma he went through. After he was sexually assaulted, he never told no one. He waited 6 to 7 months to even talk about it. He said he was ashamed of how he felt. He was ashamed what happened. He should have fought back. He felt like he was weak. He felt that if he opened up about him beginning sexually assaulted, that people would judge him and say, well, talk about again, question his sexuality. He should have fought. So this made him go in a deep depression. A depression that he almost lost his life. But he finally got help. And someone, when he talked, he realized that his masculinity and his manhood wasn't that important to risk to take his own life. What can we do to change this? How can we change the way of masculinity? Well, I'll tell you how. We need to take the masculinity out of our vocabulary. Masculinity is not who men are. We are all different. We have feelings. We have different desires. Men are not all the same. Trust me, we're all not the same. It's okay to open up. Instead of watching kids fight and say, boys will just be boys, break up the fight. When a young man is not talking or has signs of depression or crying, let him cry. Let him tell you what's going on. Because what's going to happen is that's going to eat him up, and he's going to eat that up and just hold it in, and it can either end up in a worse scenario like committing suicide. I want men to change the way that man thinks. I want us to know that masculinity, even feminism, whatever feminism, even that needs to change. Because we are all different, are not the same. And I want y'all to think that the roles that we play as masculine or men, that it's not, you are not described when you're born as masculinity. You are you. You are you. You. I'm Jay Sean. I'm not masculinity. I'm not has to be tough all the time. I got emotions. I got pain. I go through things. I'm not always strong all the time. Because I am me. I'm human. We're all human. And we go through a lot. Change the notion of man. And here's on my works cited page.